Welcome, everyone, to Let's Talk Real Estate Investing. In this series, we talk to real estate professionals, real estate investing professionals, and we speak to real estate investing experts to help you build out your personalized real estate investing strategy. We're all unique, and therefore our strategies should be unique to us. I'm Debbie Balfour, and I'm a real estate investor. I'm also a real estate investing success coach, and I help real estate investors build their personalized real estate investing strategy and scale efficiently so you can start enjoying your time freedom and financial freedom. Today, my special guest is Kim Wilson. Kim is a real estate investor. She's also, her full-time gig is as a registered nurse. She says she likes poking people and drawing blood. And she's also a wife, a mom of 2 kids, and a former athlete. So, that mindset, that Kim has, it also can come from being an athlete, can be transitioned into real estate investing. But our topic today with Kim is about overcoming fear in real estate investing. And that's really interesting, coming from a former athlete, where your mindset is so strong to be an athlete, and then experiencing fear in real estate investing. So I'll kick off. Kim, can you give us more of a background on your real estate investing journey and a bit more about you?
Hey, yeah, thank you for having me, Debbie. My name's Kim Wilson. I live in Calgary, and I've lived here for around 10 years. I've mostly lived in Alberta. I've been a nurse for 30 years, and in 2015, I discovered that through an investment advisor situation, that I had to take responsibility for my own investing due to something that happened in the investment world that wasn't great. So at that point in time, I took action, learning about, like, self-learning about how to do investing, and on the regular public markets, and all the different various information that's out there across Canada. And I probably spent about 4 or 5 years learning all of this. And what I discovered in the process is that I really, really love investing. So in 2021, I saw an ad for Keyspire, and I said to my husband, I'm like, you know what we should do? We should take that course and learn about real estate investing. It's a good complement to being well diversified in your investment portfolio. So we took the plunge, and we joined Keyspire. Initially, my husband was right in there with me, but he kind of fizzled off. And then I sort of took the reins of real estate investing, learning all about it through Keyspire. I ended up taking some other courses in multifamily, but my focus now is, it's really changed, moved to different areas along the way, and I'm focused on investing in the US using creative strategies and wholesaling. So that's where I'm at now. And yeah, you talked about my sport background. I was a gymnast, a national, international level gymnast. And then I got into doing Ironman triathlons, and I've done 5 Ironmans. And yeah, it's that discipline and that persistence characteristic trait from being an athlete. I think it really complements, being an entrepreneur, because you can't, it's that idea of just keep going, keep driving, keep persisting. You'll make mistakes along the way, but you'll learn a lot. And I don't know, it's just that inner drive that I have that keeps me going. But the thing that has sort of interfered with me is, I guess it's a combination of drive and perfection. They don't really go well together, because perfection means you've got to do everything right. You've got to learn everything you can, and you can't do it until everything is all in its place, because you don't want to make a mistake, right? And that sort of was my mentality in the beginning. I don't know what was behind that. It's probably been like a character trait of mine all along. But I just came across a quote the other day, and I just love it. And I posted it up on my wall, and it's, imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. And I love that. that is my mantra now.
I put myself on mute and then I didn't take myself off. So definitely I think I learned that in actually in my IT world when it comes to in developing that there are two different ways of developing in IT, and in the modern way of developing is exactly that. You develop, you try it out small, right? But you keep delivering and you don't wait for perfection, because there's no such thing, or else you miss the market and you miss your window. If you keep waiting and waiting for everything to be perfect, then opportunities will just fly by you, and then you're outdated also. So definitely I think that applies in everything, to keep delivering, deliver small actions each time, learn as you go, improve, like what work went well, what didn't go well, what can you change, or what you stop doing. But just keep moving forward, because definitely if you wait for perfection, it doesn't exist. So it's just a mechanism to for procrastination.
It sure is. It
Yeah.
would be. Yeah. I wouldn't really say that I'm a procrastinator, but what I lack is focus. What I
Okay.
have lacked. But what I'm doing now is, and this is what I've discovered that will help with fear of taking action is, and I didn't know this in the beginning, and it maybe should be the number one thing we're taught in any kind of real estate investing is, and I don't know, maybe it is in certain education programs, but it's setting out that plan. Like, where are you now and where do you want to go? So, and then it's doing that reverse engineering process of breaking it, going back from where you want to go, what are your goals, and then breaking it down into increments of what's your 5 year goal, what's your 1 year goal, what's your 9 month, 3 month, 1 month goal, and then setting out direct actions, an action plan, like I will do this, and making sure that like everything you do aligns with that goal. So anything that feeds into that, like relationships, what did I write down here? I wrote a few things down because I thought it was so important. Yeah, like you have to have a crystal clear vision, know where to direct your time, your money, and your energy, and also make sure everything you do is aligned with all of that, like your time, your money, your family, your education, your community. They all have to be pointing in the same direction as your goal, right? And
Yeah.
so now know that. And also, I think it's really important to have like a mission statement, or your why, I guess it would be. And what are the values that you have that drive that mission statement or that why? Like what are the certain values and what is your overall goal? For me, it's like I want to help people, like because it's in my nature. I'm a nurse. I want to help people now instead of in healthcare. I want to help them in real estate. So whether it be like the seller, the buyer, or fellow real estate investors, I want to. It's a team sport. So there's just so much abundance out there. Let's all get a piece of the pie to make the world a better place. Like really, that's a kind of a global look at it. For me, it's like I don't necessarily do it because of just the money. I mean, I don't think anybody that lasts very long does it for just that, because that's the wrong thing that's driving you. It comes as a result of doing the right things along the way. And it helps you expand as well. Like the money does help you do even more good in the world for other people. Really.
Yeah, it's amazing, because I mean it with real estate investing we have so much opportunity to help others. And it's not that we want to make money. We're not in the business of losing money. So that's our focus. We want to make money, but also, it does, like everybody needs a home, and providing safe, beautiful homes, places for people to stay is already an amazing value that we're adding to the community. But yeah, if you can do other values in there, like you said, with investing, helping other investors, along the way, if there are ways of incorporating your values into the investments you're making. Like if you care about seniors, maybe you want to invest, you're looking for properties that will support senior living, or things like that. So it is an amazing venue that we can incorporate so many different aspects of helping others and still make money.
And one of the most important things that I've discovered along the way is that you want your community to have similar or same values as you. You want to be moving in the same direction. And you want to surround yourself with those kinds of people anyway, because those are the best people that to work with. And they're helping people. They're energetic, they're positive, they're all of those things. And it's all of those qualities that help run your business the right way. Incorporating, really, when it comes down to it, it's all about relationships and community, and even like in every aspect of it. And so that's how you build this thing bigger, is because you maintain those values. Everybody on your team has the same values, and then you're not going off course, right?
Right.
You have to keep continually reevaluating, does this meet with what it is I truly want to do? And if it doesn't, then maybe it's best to say no. So,
So
so
Kim, you've said so far that setting those goals has been a really important aspect of you being able to overcome fear. And now we were talking community, how did the community help you to overcome fear?
well, number one, it was really hard to kind of find the community that I meshed best with. And since getting into the US investment scene, I found some really good communities. Like, I don't know if people out there know about the app called Skool, Skool, but I want to tell people that it's a really great place to meet community, your community, and get like free education, like free quality education. Some of the ones that I belong to are REIpreneurs, and then the other one is that I just love is called Learn and Grow Rich. And within that platform, you can literally, like, the amount of free education that they give you, free quality education, is kind of crazy, I think. And then there's a platform where you can ask all kinds of questions, connect with other like-minded people. Yeah, so I actually, I'm telling everybody about these things because, there are people out there that don't have a lot of money to get started, but they just don't know where to start. There's just so much information out there, and you want to be well connected with the right information. You want to follow the right people. So I'm kind of good at like really filtering through that, because I I do a lot of research, and then I kind of discern, oh, this is a really good quality education program out here, this kind of thing. So because I have made mistakes in the past, we all do. But yeah, they're our best teachers, right?
So Kim, you've taken you've educated yourself quite a bit, and there's a lot of people out there that they're very well educated now on real estate investing. They've taken like the Key Spire, they've taken that the huge membership. They've taken several masterminds. They've drilled down into strategies. And they're still frozen. They're feeling stuck, and because they're now overwhelmed. There's just too much out there. There's so much information that they can be dangerous, and they're not sure which direction to go. How did you, or if you were to go back in time, now that you found that you enjoy the real estate investing in the US and the wholesaling side of things, what would you do differently to distill through that information? Would you still take all that education, or was there a path that you felt that you should have done at the beginning that would have gotten you there quicker?
Yeah, good, really good question that I'm sure a lot of people have experienced. For me personally, I think Keyspire was the good basis for me. But then I started really looking at all the different scenarios because I thought, how am I going to know what I want to do if I don't know what's out there? And so I don't regret having taken these other educational courses, but it would have been better if I hadn't taken them all at once. I was in a rush, like I'm just so in a rush, and I have to tell myself, slow down. And part of it is because of my age, but and I have really like lofty goals in a short time period. Some people do it, some people can because they have the resources, they have the time, they have all of that. You have to make sure that it fits in your life so that you're not going to go crazy and be in such a rush that you miss things along the way that are critical, right? You're always seeking outside. Well, maybe I do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. Like I did it again this last weekend. A course came across my email. I'm like, oh my gosh, that one looks really good. It's just a weekend course. And it was an entire weekend. It was a 9 to 5 each day. And it was very valuable, but did it fit within my goals? It actually did because my goals are to buy single family homes and eventually get into multifamily. But I want to do short-term rental, mid-term rental, which I'm doing already. And then always, run my numbers with long-term rental and make sure they work. But yeah, so this course I guess it was timely, but I need to make sure that I keep focused on the things I need to do right now. Those are things that maybe I could do at another date. So I have to learn to say no more often. No, it's okay. You can do that later, or I don't know. I'm such a voracious learner, and I just love learning. Like it's just so fulfilling for me. It is just
But we can do too much learning and take away from action and the time that we should be implementing. So that's what I'm hearing from you is that, yeah, it's good to learn, but also it's going back again to the goals. Is this learning going to support my goals? Is it at the right timing? Am I ready for this as yet? There's always a lot of free learning out there, and it comes back.
yeah.
There's always a lot of things. So yeah, definitely.
But one thing I've done that I think I would suggest to other people too is like, especially if you're investing in the States, find yourself a mentor or a joint venture partner that will partner with you through the process that it is you're doing. For instance, I have now a joint venture partner in Jacksonville, Florida. He's been doing real estate for like 40 years. So he's done anything and everything. So he's really good because he's got me focused on what we're doing. So we're going to be looking for there's 3 types of properties we're looking for. We're looking for subject to seller finance and a sort of a hybrid of it. And then so what I'm doing in the partnership is I'm going to be like the lead generator. So I'm learning how to generate leads because it can be very costly with inbound lead generation. Like you're talking $3,000 to $6,000 a month. Well, I can't afford that right now. So I have to go back on, what is the least expensive, most sort of strategic way to find the leads that I need to do. And I know I need to do the work. So what I'm going to do is I'm bringing the lead, and then we're going to decide what strategy we use, what are all our exit strategies, go through all the various contracts that we have to put in place, like land trusts and all these various things that we have to do in order to acquire these properties. So my goal, I've really narrowed it down. So the first couple of deals that I find, they're likely going to be wholesale deals, which will help generate some income so that I can then maybe start thinking about inbound leads. But in the meantime, I'll be doing outbound leads because they're just more cost efficient.
So baby steps to get there. So this is another way that I'm hearing to overcome fear is to partner with someone that's experienced in it. So don't think about it, oh, I'm giving away. half of it or anything like that, because half of nothing is nothing. So
Right.
when you're trying to figure things out yourself, you're not moving forward and you can make costly mistakes. So learning as you go, learning while you're taking action, and partnering with someone that experience takes that fear out of things.
Yeah. And it's so funny because my partner's name is Barry. And I decided because my daughter is currently living in Ocala, Florida. So we decided that that's the market we're going to start in, because if she needs to go knock on a door and get a phone number, I'm going to make her go do it. And if she wants to get involved in real estate too, right? So, because I mean, sometimes even by skip tracing, maybe they don't answer the phone or whatever.
Mhm,
But I have that. I have a resource right there in that town. So that's breaking it down even further. It's just
mhm,
I'm going to focus on one city, one town, one county, and then start very small there. Get I just cannot wait to get that first uh, property under contract. I'm just going to be so thrilled. Like I can see it coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And that's the other thing is mindset, vision, and envisioning. The thing you want. It's already here, and so I'm working a lot on mindset right now as well. Like I'm reading, or I'm actually listening to this book. It's called Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Wow, it's amazing. It was suggested by, and some people might know Jennifer Champion. She's doing a lot of investing in the US, subject to, she's partnered. And so she said that this book was a game changer for her. And I can see why. Like, I am literally listening to it first thing in the morning for a couple of hours as I go through around doing my business, and then like I just want to get through this book and I want to read it. I want to listen to it again and again and again. It's that good. So
yeah, it's amazing what manifesting and visualizing can get you. I've had it happen so many times for me. Where in 2022 I started taking Bob Proctor's course program, Thinking into Results, and within a month, opportunities started coming to me that I never. I was like, where did that come from? But they must have been already there, but I wasn't open to it. Right.
yes.
So that's one thing. When I got my I had this goal to get my vacation home. And the one that you mentioned, Kim, that I posted, you said is beautiful. Well,
Oh,
that view, I envisioned that view. Like I had it in my mind. This is what I'm going to, I want a property with this kind of view. And I got it. Even my husband, we were the backup offer on it. And I was already, I was already, although we were backup, we weren't the one that got accepted as a conditional offer. I was still in my mind, I was designing the home. I was doing, and my husband would say to my son, oh, mom's I'm really worried about mom. She's going to be so disappointed. She's already envisioning this and big. And sure enough, their offer fell through and we came in and snapped it up. Right. But my husband was like, he was the opposite. He's like, oh, mom's like going to be so disappointed. But I was already planning it all out. I had it in my mind that we were getting this property and we
yeah.
did. Right. So it's amazing what.
Yeah, because unless you put that out there, what you want, and you also have to, like, you have to believe that you can do it. Like, if you don't have the belief, or you have those limiting beliefs that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that you're not this or that you don't deserve it, everybody else is so much better and they deserve it. Um, I am also doing an app, I guess it's a manifesting, it's a 21-day manifesting challenge. It started that way, but I'm continuing with it. It's called Gabby, but she gives like weekly lessons on, you know, changing the way you think, and allowing things to happen in your life, and working through, like, doing um you know, doing, I guess, like little activities where you write down, you put it on paper. What is it you really want? So it helps you get focused on that, because if you don't know what you want, you're just be the world will be crazy, right? You just focus on what it is you want, and that's what I've learned is, yeah, it's focus is one of the biggest things you can do, and you are deserving of it, just like everybody else.
It's amazing though, but 90% of our population live their life not knowing what they want.
Yeah,
Right. So that's where you can see that to that 10% are the movers and shakers. They're the ones that are, that are making money and making life the way they want it, as opposed to everybody that just like kind of zombies through life.
yeah, like really that mentality of taking, like, getting taken care of rather than taking care of yourself.
Yourself,
If,
yeah.
being sort of passive in life and not, like, I mean, some people that's what they want, and that's fair enough. But if they don't know the possibilities, it's really a shame, because there's just so much out there. There's so much abundance. There's so much for everybody to have and share. That, like, that's really what it's all about, and it's about living the life of your dreams, um, and doing what it is you want, that lights your fire, that fills your cup.
So what's helping you, Kim, overcome the feeling of inadequacies or imposter syndrome, or that you're not good enough? What's helped you, that you've been taking now these different, you've been reading, you've been taking that Gabby program, etc. What have you found that's worked for you?
Well, just like daily practice. Um, and, I start my day the same way every day. I start it by, getting up in the morning and doing, well, I've just injured my knee. I can't do exactly what I was doing before, but I modify it. But like getting into like reading quality mindset stuff, or listening to, like books about mindset, and then meditating and getting into the right mindset before you start your day. And then just reminding yourself through the day with, whatever works for you. Like, do you put up a whiteboard? Do you put quotes on the whiteboard? Just like I've done this one, imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. Like, I just have to keep reminding myself of that over and over, because you can go back into old habits and old thought patterns if you don't keep doing the things that move you forward. And so it's really about just being really consistent, building it as a habit, and doing the things. Like, when I start my day that way, I have the best day always. When I don't, it's when the day just doesn't go the way I wanted it to. I need to, like, follow my purpose and do the things that, and remind myself of my ultimate goals and what I'm working on for my minor actions, and stick with those. Get really organized too. Um, I found that because I had so much information all over the place, like books and books and books, I like to write things down. My husband got me an iPad, one of those writing ones, for Christmas, and has been awesome, because I'm just like, I put it all in there, and then there's not paper everywhere. And then I can put it into files and get organized.
And it's searchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have too much going on all at once, of course you're not going to be focused. It's like you're going to be here, there, everywhere.
Have you looked into the app Mind Valley? I think
No.
that's another great one. It's got a lot of it. It's got a variety of different learning on it, but also has meditation, etc. And it's all about also, manifesting. There's all sorts of different. You can get learning, and you can get meditations with it. It's kind of a learn something, because you can learn about branding for
Oh,
instance, and then you can attach a meditation around branding and visualization around branding. So it's a great one. It's about $400 a year. but that's the one that I use, and it has a variety of different things in it that I can learn to improve myself and invest in myself. But at the same time, I can there's life coaching in there. There's all sorts of different type of coaching that you may need,
Oh,
along with
that
meditations.
definitely. That would be something that would be right up my alley and what I need to do for sure.
Yeah.
There's so many great organization apps and software programs, and you just kind of have to filter through them and see which one fits best in your what you're doing. And in the States, there are so many of them. There's different like platforms that you can use that are kind of doing all the same thing, but everything is getting automated. And but what I want to do is I want to learn it like from the basics level before I hop into the automation level, because
Definitely.
there's so much more you can learn, and then you can change if you know what's really happening behind the scenes. So
Yeah. So I've heard there's so many great tips that we've just discussed to overcoming fear. One is educating yourself, but you can get to the point where you overeducate yourself, and that creates a fear factor in itself too. So being, putting, understanding, starting out first by setting your goals, understanding your why, and then having your learning support that, having your processes, like you were saying, more streamlined, so that it's repeatable, so that you're organized. So getting yourself organized in there, and also setting a routine for yourself, putting yourself first in the aspect of doing some meditations, visualizations, etc., so that your day continues on the right path.
yes, there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So, some absolutely great tips there. And looking for that, you also said starting small, taking action, but concentrating in like one area, like you were saying, you picked your market, you know exactly your strategy. So pick one strategy, perfect it, work in that one market. Don't try to look everywhere, because again, that will create fear for you.
correct. Yeah. It just seems more manageable when you break it down into little pieces like that. And then like, because you know from your global goals, and you've worked backwards, so you know that what you're doing is going to lead you down the right path. Because if you don't have that set, you don't know where you're going. You don't have, then you're going to be going off in multiple different directions and never really getting to where you want to go. But then everything else, like I said, everything else aligns with that goal too. Who your community is, you know, um, the people that you're interacting with, your team, they all have the same sort of set goals as you do. And then that helps you get to your goal.
Keeps you focused. Exactly. And you assess opportunities, whether it's learning opportunities or investing opportunities. You assess that based on your goals and your why. And that will help you weed out the shiny object syndrome.
Yeah. And just be okay with saying no. Like, honestly, this last weekend, I probably should have said no to this course that I took. I'm glad I took it, but it did take time away from, you have to have a balance too. You can't just be doing real estate 24/7, right? Well, not 24, 12/7.
Well, that's the other aspect too. Is that yes, we're doing real estate in order to achieve our goal, but for most of us, that goal is, it's not. We say financial freedom, but it's actually time freedom, because the finances gives us time and the opportunity to do the things we want to do, that we're truly passionate about. So we say we're passionate about real estate, but it's what we enjoy doing that will bring us that passion, right? So it shouldn't take away from our life today, because life is too short. This is my mantra, is that life is too short Tomorrow isn't present. So if today is going to take away, if by doing today, I'm going to go away from my why, even if it's real estate related, I'm going to miss out on something I'll regret if I don't have tomorrow. Then we should really want to have that balance. We want to be able to, even if it's a small bit, bring that into our daily lives. Yes, we're planning for the future, but we need that balance.
Yeah, and I mean, I have to admit, I haven't necessarily had that balance lately. But like yesterday, I got a sort of a call from a friend. She wanted to go for coffee, and I had all these things I was planning to do, and I'm like, you know what? Nope, because it is about balance. It's about mental health, physical health, family, and friends, and all of it together. And so I've been in the trenches because of the whole learning process, and I need to take a step back and like really going forward, I'm going to promise myself to say no to more things.
It is not, yeah, it's not the wrong thing to do. It's as long as you, like you said, it's, you look at it, does this align with my goal? And if it doesn't, then, say no to it. We're all, I think majority of us are people pleasers. And that's why we're afraid to say no.
Yeah.
But we could say, sometimes you don't have to say an absolute no. You can postpone it. You can say no for today and yes to the in the future.
Right.
Right. So
And I need to set time, I need to set alarms for myself because I'll get going on something and I just like last night I was digging into this program about marketing and stuff, and I'm like, I looked at the clock. I mean, granted the hour has moved ahead, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 12:30. And
you become so in focus.
yeah. But I mean, the thing is like I do sleep well and I do prioritize sleep, but the odd night where I maybe go a little bit overboard because my husband's away in Alaska and I'm like, yes, I can, dive into all this stuff. Yeah, I sort of took it to the extreme, but yeah, I've just set an alarm and go, okay, Kim, the shut off time is like no more than 10 o'clock. And then, what, it's time just to get ready, go to sleep and get a restful night's sleep. You can start all over in the morning, all nice and refreshed.
Well, speaking about balance again, sleep is so important. And by taking away, we think that, okay, I'm going to work longer and get more done. But in essence, we actually hamper ourselves because when we take away from that sleep, the next day is not productive. We're not as creative, we're not as efficient because we haven't had enough sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you want to be productive, you want to be fresh, you want to be focused, you want to make sure you're not going off the path. And I think all and just goals, goals, goals. What's my end goal? Where am I going? And the question I ask myself now in my head is this going to serve me? How is this going to serve me and work for getting, towards my ultimate goal?
You go.
Not like say I get offered to take a course on, I don't know, think of an example.
Bitcoin.
Like private lending. I mean, not to slam private lending. I'm a private
Yeah.
lender, but I don't need to take a course on private lending right now. I need to focus on the active part of real estate, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely. Keep in focus that goal and baby steps too.
Yeah.
So yeah. And we're all so tempted to bring in like, oh, maybe I should learn about this. Oh, maybe I should learn about that. But like you said, keep focus on what it is you're doing right now. There's lots of time. There's other time in the future. But if you're taking in too much, then you're doing nothing. You're not accomplishing anything. There's again, but going back to my IT days, is there's being busy. There's busy work. So you're always busy. It doesn't mean that you're, sitting back and relaxing. You're busy, but you're never delivering because you're trying to do too many things. And the concept of multitasking, it doesn't exist. It's not true. It's not productive. And when I hear ads that say job ads that say the ability to multitask, that should be struck from there, because when you're multitasking, you're not delivering.
Yeah, and I mean,
Mm.
I don't know if people that listen to this know about Case Morby and they're investing in the States. He's like the subject to guru. But he talks about finding your avatar, like who are you and what is it you're really good at? So focus on that skill and then build the team around you to do the other things that you're not necessarily so good at. Like, so he has like transaction coordinators that do the back end of the deal, and then the acquisitionist. So he's the negotiator, and that's his skill. And I have a feeling that's going to be my skill because I love talking to people, love helping people. I want to get down to their level and, like just make them feel comfortable. And I think it's the sales end of things, but it's coming from the right values. It's not like pushy sales down your throat kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the real success will come from.
Definitely. So we all have talents and skills, and we should be working with those strengths, and then look at our weaknesses and look at how we can, work with those weaknesses, whether it's an automated system, whether it's hiring someone on your team, whether it's partnering with someone to fulfill those weaknesses. Those weaknesses is not something that you necessarily have to repair or work on yourself. So a lot of, I think, in the corporate world, they always focus on what are your weaknesses and how are you going to improve it. Sometimes you don't need to do it. You don't need to improve that weakness. You need to work with your strengths, and you get other ways to mitigate your weaknesses that's not within you.
Yeah, because if you worked on your weaknesses and not like and didn't go forward with your strengths, then I think you're setting yourself back. So you have to ask yourself, right, exactly, how is it that I can improve this? I'm not going to be the one to do it. So who is it? Who, not how, right? And
Right.
then what system? Who, I guess, would include what, because what, not how, or who, not how. And these, you know what? As soon as you can automate some things or have someone else do those
Do it
skills,
for you.
then you take that off your plate and you can really do the thing you do best without interference from all these other. Can't do everything. That's the other thing. When I started on them, like, I need to do everything myself. No, I can't. It's impossible. I'm not superhuman. I need to be able to delegate. I need to ask, my husband to do the books, and he doesn't mind doing that. So that's sort of where I was afraid to ask him. I didn't know if he was interested in doing it. And then when I found out, he's like, "Oh, sure, no problem. I'll do that for you." And I was like, "Oh, why didn't I ask this a long time ago?"
I guess that's the other key. Like, ask.
Yeah.
All people can say is no, you're back to square one. But imagine when they say yeah. So don't be afraid to ask. Definitely. Yeah. I think people that try to improve their weaknesses or work with their weaknesses, you get less return on investment for that. Right? As when you're working on your strengths.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't sort of, if you don't like doing something, you're oh, sorry, that's my cat,
The little tail.
hilarious. Sometimes he jumps like right in front when I'm talking. Nacho Libre is his name.
Yeah. So I think that's another aspect of overcoming fear, is to work with your strengths and hire out or partner on your weaknesses.
Yeah, like that was the big thing for me, is like, of course I can't like do my very first deal on my own in the US where everything is like, how do I do a land trust? How do I do this? The contracts are different, like, title companies are different. Everything's different. So why not partner with someone and work the process together? That took a lot of weight off my shoulders, actually. And honestly, that's how a lot of people start out, is they just partner.
Hmm.
And you don't need to partner all along the way, unless of course you want to, but you know, how else are you going to learn without
If you're
making,
interested in becoming active, then
yeah,
partner first with an active, with someone else that can that's willing to teach you along with the
especially a
way.
71-year-old who's been doing real estate for 42 years.
Yeah, and they want to give away their wisdom. They want to,
They want
to learn from their mistakes, from all the wealth of knowledge that they've gained.
like, you can tell this guy, he just gets like so much joy out of helping other people learn, right?
Yeah.
Perfect partner.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kim. We talked about so many different ways to overcome that fear. So hopefully, everyone listening that are there, and I think we all at some point have these fears, because as we're starting a new strategy, although we may be experienced real estate investor in other strategies, if we move into a new strategy, you're back to being that novice again, and those fears of not knowing, of imposter syndrome, of all the syndromes that are out there. Shiny objects syndrome. I'm going to do this market and this market and that market.
Yeah, there's a lot of syndromes out there in the real estate.
So work on one syndrome at a time, everyone. So it's always like Kim is saying, it's about focus, it's about goals, it's about staying true to yourself, and it's about investing in yourself, not just in courses though, but spending that time in your day to get yourself organized, to meditate, to focus on visualizing what you want.
Yep, exactly. Word for word.
Awesome. So Kim, thank you so much. I will post along with the video your contact information if anyone wants to get in touch with you, learn more about your US investing and what you're doing there, and how they can perhaps partner with you on opportunities you may have in the US.
I love sharing. I love teaching. I would be so pleased if anyone wanted to reach out. Now, I may not have all the answers, but I'm certainly building that around me. So, as part of my team, if I don't have the answer, I can certainly point you in the right direction. But love to talk about real estate investing in the US.
Kim, once you get your first property on their belt, I'd love to meet with you again, interview you, and talk about that process, how it went, some of your steps, some of your lessons learned on that.
Oh my
If
gosh,
you
I'm
would
getting
like.
goosebumps. I would love to do that. And anyone who's interested, I'm so happy to share. Thank you so much for having me, Debbie. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome anytime, Kim. Have a wonderful day. Take care.